Hi, my name is Glynis Woods-Mullins, and I'm here again with Dr. Tom Negelow, and I have some questions that I'd like to ask him specifically for Kuthumi. Tom, before we get started, and before I ask my questions, if you could just tell them a little bit about Kuthumi and what we're getting ready to do.
Sure. First of all, I'm a trance channel. Trance means I go into a deep meditative trance. I have no recollection of what I've said or the questions that have been asked. So everything is without my opinion. Channeling, very simply, is a different use of universal energy than us human beings are used to on a day-to-day basis. I'm an at cause channel, which means I bring it up when I want to. It just doesn't jump into me whenever I'm around. I've been channeling for over 30 years. I'm going to be channeling Kuthumi, the Ascended Master Kuthumi today. Ascended Master Kuthumi is the combined energy of St. Francis of Assisi, Pythagoras, and the Shah Jahan, Pythagoras being the Greek mathematician and philosopher. The Shah Jahan is the person who built the Taj Mahal. Kuthumi comes through with the kind of the personality of the Shah. And he'll speak for a short period of time. We're going to be doing a mini channeling, which is obviously a short channeling. He'll speak for a short period of time about whatever the subject may be. And then Linus and Shelley, who is here, she's the disembodied voice. Say hi, Shelley.
I'm actually going to come in so you can see me from it. Hi, everybody.
And she'll ask questions as well if she feels it's appropriate. And that's what we'll be doing.
Okay, well, very good. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go off camera, so I won't be distracting, and go from there.
All righty, I'm just going to jump in. Well now, and good day to you, my dears.
Hello, Kuthumi.
Good day.
How are you on such a fine day that this is?
Very good.
Very good. So let us speak, if you will, about how to experience the current energy, you see. Not only the specific things about you day to day, all of this, but in general, the energy that you find yourselves in this current time. And we say energy rather than situation or conflict or any of this, because you are in, if you will, a vibrational energy. It is moving energy that is universal in nature, which means, of course, that the energy moves through from the universe to the universe. You see, being human beings, you experience that energy in a certain way, in the body, in the thinking, making things real and making and creating things in your life. That is the normal way. So the dilemma comes when it is you are in the middle of something that looks as if it has been different. Something is changing. Something does not feel right, perhaps. All that means is the energy, there is shifting in the energy, and the universe is expressing this shift in the human being. So, what does this mean? How to deal with this? Energy is always moving. It is always being experienced in the human way. And so, what you must do is become aware of the vibration as it feels in the body. and becoming aware of the vibration as it feels in the body, then this connects with the human thinking and ideas and emotions and all of this. You have heard, no doubt, in your time, the term of being present with it. And what does it mean to be present with the energy? Very simply, it is looking about you, seeing what is real, not what is illusioned, not what it is you are told to believe is real, not what someone else feels is real and feel you should think the same way, but what is so, what is real, what is vibrationally so for you. And then once you have relaxed into this, the feeling in the body becomes relaxed, and now you can take the energy and convert it into what it is you wish to create, you see. So there is nothing unusual about energy. Energy always has been, always will be, and always what you have been experiencing. What you have not seen, perhaps, is the result of some of this changing energy that is unusual to you, that is not familiar, or maybe not comfortable, you see. And so when something is not familiar or not comfortable, what do? Very simply, you begin to back into what it is you have been doing. Let us say the old way that you have been creating and working. But in the vibrational energy that is moving forward, those ways may not seem to be working as well, you see. And so releasing the old attitudes, releasing the old thinking, releasing the old energy so that the vibration that is current in the universe may move through without resistance. So being in present time is what is most important, but you must be in this present time in clarity, you see. You cannot depend on what you did or what you have done or what you think you are supposed to do. So you're moving into perhaps a time that may initially be a bit confusing. You are not sure what to do. That is fine. When you are uncertain or confused, very simply stop. Take a look about and see and ask the self, how is it I can use this energy? Most importantly, what am I creating with this energy? What am I building with this energy, you see? Because energy has always been used by the human being to create. So now it is finding within the self this new, if you will, place, this new, even call it an identity. But it is not a different identity. It is the same identity of the self as you always have been and always will be. Because the self is consistent. The energy may be used differently, but the self does not change because of the energy. The self is the mover of the energy, not the victim of it. You see? So as you define and make the self clear, make the self whole, have the self be consistent with who it is you are, then very simply, the energy, no matter how or where it is from or how it is changing or what it seems to be doing, will come through you in a consistent manner. And in this consistency, this is how you can create, even though it may seem new or different, you see. Because the energy is the energy. You are learning to use it differently in the world, yes, this is a good thing. But do not let it alter the essence and vibration and foundation of the energy in the universe of who you are. Very good. And so upon some questions in this time.
Thank you, Kuthumi. Yes, I do have some questions, and maybe this could be a possible spinoff from what you're talking about in terms of energy. Right now, there's a lot of talk about global warming, and in particular, there's some regions of our country and in the world where things do appear or seem to be hotter than normal. For instance, in my own personal experience, I live in California, and we're going into our seventh day of well over 100 degrees. I think today is going to be like 107 or 108. Can you tell me what's going on in terms of the global warming? How real is it, and what is it that we need to know?
Well, the warming of the globe is indeed a real thing. The dilemma is that it is a natural thing. Well, not so much a dilemma, but a situation that is just a natural fluctuation of the earth, and it's having to do with its energy. It's experiencing the sun's energy and vibration. Its own magnetic vibration has changed slightly. All of these are natural things going on and have gone on before. The dilemma is that human beings are around to think about it, you see. Back when it was happening before, the animals and trees and things that were about didn't really care. They either lived or did not, you see. With the human being, however, has a stake and interest in understanding and being able to perhaps manipulate or use the global warming in a way that it can keep itself safe and keep itself secure and keep itself surviving, you see. So understanding these fluctuations is important. So what is going on is the natural flux of the energy, the physicalness of the planet, the actual even warming of the very core of the planet, which is not unusual and has happened many times before. The core of the planet warms a bit and cools a bit, and this, of course, affects everything else in the planet of the Earth. So these warming trends and the cooling trends and all of this is very natural in its way. So the question is how to adapt to these things, how to understand them so that human beings are not in danger, you see. That is the question. That is what must be investigated, you see, because truly, except some very locally, very few things that a human being does has massive effect on the earth. Locally, it has effect, certainly, yes. And the best thing to do, of course, is be as clean and use energy as cleanly and use energy as effectively and as simply as is possible. These are smart things to do. But again, the local things are more human, whereas the general warming of the planet is again a natural phenomenon.
And so there's always fluctuation and whether we have a warming trend or a cooling trend.
Yes, these are natural things, yes. But again, they need to be understood so that the human being can adjust to it and use them in a way that is consistent and helps the survival.
Very clear. So did you have something specific in regard to that at this time? Because there are fires in California and so on.
Well, yeah, there's fires in California, but the other thing is that the quality of the air is difficult. And I'm wondering how concerned people should be in terms of breathing in that air. And then we have the combination of other health viral issues that are going on right now. I know some people think that it's not, the pandemic is not real or not as serious. And I'm just wondering what your opinion is of that and how the quality of the air might be mixing with the virus. Is that any added danger, or is it all just something that's in the minds of us humans?
Well, two things. First of all, the air quality is indeed sometimes dangerous to people who have sensitivity to this. And even if one does not have a sensitivity, over time it can cause them to have a sensitivity. So when the air is bad, it is good to wear something on the face, specifically for the pollution, you see. That will help reduce this when they go out, when the pollution is bad. Cover the face, this makes sense, you see. And so do whatever one can to reduce this pollution in the air, you see. Demanding from industries or things that pollute that they begin to find ways to stop doing this. It can be done, you see. What will happen is perhaps something may cost more, but it is more important to reduce the quality or increase the quality of the air. Now, currently, because of the fires you are experiencing, obviously the air is going to be reduced in its efficiency. And so, again, wearing some face covers, things like this are appropriate. Now, as far as this disease that the world is experiencing this time, certainly, of course, it is real. There is no question of this. The dilemma is that in some cases, man takes advantage of these situations in order for either to make money or for politics, whatever it may be. One has to be very careful when one listens to the people when they speak, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. See, take into your own mind, take into your own experience what is appropriate. If you are being around people, then it is appropriate to be careful, of course, you see. If you are being in places where many people are, of course, it is certainly smart to do specific things, like putting on face covers so that you do not breathe in or breathe it out for that matter, you see. All these things are appropriate. But those who say it is silly and nonsense, well, they are simply avoiding reality, you see, because they don't trust perhaps what other people say, or they have been lied to, whatever their thinking is, you see. So you must take both into account, that there is some using of the situation to gain either importance or money or power, whatever the case may be, or the using of it to point to others and say, well, see how much you are being controlled in fear. You see, I am not afraid, so I don't believe it. That is not a wise thing at all.
Thank you, Kuthumi. I'm so glad to hear you say that because I've heard some interesting things about, you know, how seriously we should take this and that it's a conspiracy or it's not real or it's just people's imagination or it's the same thing as a flu. Do you have any wisdom to share with us in terms of how this pandemic is in comparison to a regular flu strain?
Well, it is a regular cold strain, maybe not flu, but cold by definition. But it still can make you sick and kill you. You see, so why would you take any chance at this? You see, the dilemma is for some of the flus there are vaccines that you can take that will either eliminate it or lessen it. Obviously, you do not have all vaccines or cures for all of the flus. You see, there are many different out there. This one in particular is difficult because there is no, as yet, known vaccine for it to lessen it or eliminate it or strengthen the body against it. You see, that is why it is dangerous. That is why one needs to protect themselves, you see, until such a thing comes about. And even when a thing comes about, it may not be effective 100%, as is when you're taking the flu vaccines. They're not 100% effective, you see. But certainly it lessens the danger and makes living with it a bit, shall we say, easier. And so it will be in time with this because of the work that is being done to find the vaccine. You cannot cure it because it is a virus, you see. Viruses cannot be cured. They can be lessened and dealt with, but they cannot be cured in their ways, such as like a bacteria can be killed. Viruses cannot be killed, but they can be lessened in the effect they have genetically and physically in the body. So it is important to do these things and be safe in yourself, in your family, and around others, and doing what is necessary to be protected.
What would you suggest, Kuthumi, for the children going to school right now? Since they are, in many, many different situations across the country.
Well, there is not one answer for everyone, all schools, of course. The local environment should dictate what is appropriate in each area. You see, some areas, as far as disease, are worse than others. However, even if one area decides to not have school in person, that is fine. Children can learn in many different ways. And although there may be some slowing of their learning, this can be caught up with. That is not a problem, you see. So again, what is the safest thing to do in the area that you are in? Just as if you, a person, are walking into a large store, you may wish to wear some protection over the face, you see, because that is simply the environment. If you are driving around alone in your car, you probably do not need to use this. You see, so it is situational in its nature. And the dilemma can be, because of the politics and the money involved, this can be used as other than something exactly what is safe for the people around. So one needs to be careful of this as well and be wise in their choices of what they wish to do.
So they're not caught up in fear and so on.
Yes, the fear is, you cannot have to be afraid of this. If you are afraid, then you are going to limit yourself. And limiting yourself does not bring health and a wiseness, you see. Looking and saying, what is real, what is so? If you do not know, do the thing that is most safe.
Very clear. Have you got another question, Linus, for Kuthumi?
No, I think you've answered all my questions in regards to the energy issue. And thank you for the additional information on the pandemic, Kuthumi, that really kind of confirms what I've already been feeling. And I'm sure those who will be listening will also feel like they can get some clarity through your wisdom. Thank you very much for your help.
Yes, very good. So very simply, do not be afraid. Be aware. That is the simplest thing. Very good.
Thank you, Kuthumi.
So, and so, my dears, until the next of our coming, peace to you in this time.
Very good interview, Linus.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Wow, very good, great information, confirmation, and a lot of things that I've been feeling for quite some time in terms of, we talked a little bit about the pandemic.
Ah.
Yeah.
Also talked about global warming and the cycles of warming and cooling on the planet.
Okay, good, good.
And things to do about it. It was one that you probably ought to hear, just to hear it. Not that you aren't aware of it, but it would be good to hear.
Yeah. Because again, I'm a trans channel, Shelley tells me when I should listen to the channelings to help myself keep informed. So,
okay, very good.
Otherwise, I have no idea.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
time and sharing.
If people want to, I do individual channelings over the phone and in person. Also do group channelings. I can channel for one or two or a number of individuals at a time.
And remotely.
And also remotely. If you want to get in touch with me, you can email Shelley, Shelley, Negelow, Negelow, @gmail.com. Our phone number is 678-828-9145. And also, what is
Our
the,
website.
yes, our website is Academy for Conscious Living. You can get a hold of us through there. .com, Academy for Conscious Living.com. I'm getting coaching from Shelley here. I always need that. And what is the webpage?
That's it.
That's it. Oh, and the Voice of Unconditional Love
Yes.
as well. The
The Facebook.
Facebook page, The Voice of Unconditional Love. We have channelings there as well and information. That's it.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. I encourage all of you to take a look at what's here on the group page of the Voice for Unconditional Living, and also on the YouTube channel, where all of Tom's channelings that he's been doing over the last few weeks, those are there, and it gets updated regularly. Thanks so much, Tom, for doing
Thanks for having me.
And thank you to all of you for listening, and come back real soon. Bye-bye.